The stars twisted and bent in ways that should have been impossible. Space itself seemed to scream as reality tore apart. And from that tear emerged something that would change the galaxy forever. The UES Prometheus materialized in normal space with a violent flash of light that could be seen from 3 star systems away. Inside the massive warship, alarms blared as Captain James Walker gripped his command chair. The bridge crew worked frantically at their stations, trying to make sense of what had just happened. "Report," Walker commanded, his voice cutting through the chaos. Lieutenant Tom Rivers looked up from his console, his face pale. "Captain, this can't be right. According to these readings, we're in the Orion sector, but the stellar positions are all wrong." "Define wrong." "Lieutenant, they match our star charts, sir, but from approximately 200 years ago." The bridge fell silent. Every crew member understood what that meant. Their experimental jump drive hadn't just malfunctioned. It had thrown them back in time. Dr. Canna Black rushed onto the bridge, her tablet clutched in her hands. "Captain, I've confirmed it. The quantum signatures, the background radiation levels, everything points to the same conclusion. We're in the year 2157. Walker stood slowly, his mind racing. The Prometheus was humanity's most advanced warship, built in 2357 with technology that had taken centuries to perfect. Shield generators that could withstand direct hits from antimatter bombs. Weapons systems that could crack moons. Engines that could outrun light itself. And now they were alone, 2 centuries in the past. "Sir," Rivers interrupted his thoughts, "we're detecting multiple ships approaching. They're transmitting on frequencies we haven't used in generations." On the main view screen, a fleet materialized from hyperspace. 30 ships of various designs, all bearing the markings of the Galactic Coalition, an alliance that, in Walker's time, no longer existed. They had been destroyed by humanity during the Great War of 2287. The lead ship transmitted a message. The universal translator kicked in, rendering the alien speech into English. "Unknown vessel, you have violated Coalition space. Power down your systems and prepare to be boarded." Walker almost laughed. These ships, considered fearsome in this era, looked like antiques compared to the Prometheus. Their weapons were particle beams that his shields could absorb without even noticing. Their armor was simple titanium composite that his plasma cannons could vaporize in seconds. "Open a channel," Walker ordered. Rivers nodded. "Channel open, sir." "Coalition fleet, this is Captain Walker of the United Earthship Prometheus. We mean you no harm, but we will not power down our systems. We are explorers who have become lost. We seek only safe passage." The response was immediate and hostile. "Your ship configuration is unknown. Your energy signatures exceed anything in our databases. You will comply or be destroyed." Walker sighed. He had hoped to avoid conflict, but history had already recorded the Coalition as aggressive and unreasonable. Perhaps this was why humanity had eventually gone to war with them. "Battle stations," he said quietly. The Prometheus came alive. Shields shimmered into existence around the hull, creating a barrier that could withstand the combined firepower of 100 Coalition ships. Weapon ports opened, revealing cannons that hummed with barely contained energy. The Coalition fired first. 30 ships unleashed everything they had: particle beams, missiles, plasma bolts. The space around the Prometheus lit up like a star being born. But when the light faded, the human warship remained untouched, its shields not even flickering. "Sir?" Rivers asked, his hand hovering over the weapons controls. Walker considered his options. They were stuck in the past with no way home. They could try to hide, to avoid changing history. Or they could use their advantage to prevent the wars and suffering that he knew were coming. The Coalition would eventually attack Earth. Billions would die. Target their weapons and engines only, Walker commanded. Disable, don't destroy. The Prometheus responded instantly. Precise laser strikes shot out, each one finding its mark with impossible accuracy. In less than 10 seconds, 30 coalition ships were left drifting helplessly in space, their weapons destroyed, their engines offline. The galaxy had just witnessed something impossible. A single ship had defeated an entire fleet without taking a scratch, and this was only the beginning. Asterisk. 3 weeks had passed since the incident with the coalition fleet. 3 weeks since 30 warships had been disabled in 10 seconds by a single unknown vessel. The galaxy was buzzing with rumors, fear, and speculation. In the depths of space. On the throne world of the Dominion Empire, Lord Krell sat in his massive chamber, watching holographic recordings of the battle for the 100th time. His forearms drummed against his throne as his black eyes studied every detail. One ship, he growled to his advisors. One ship did this? Yes, my lord, his military commander responded, trembling. The coalition fleet never stood a chance. Their weapons didn't even scratch it. Krell stood, his 12-foot frame towering over everyone in the room. Find this ship. I want to know everything about it. Meanwhile, aboard the Prometheus, Captain Walker stood in the ship's vast database room with Dr. Anna Black. They were studying historical records from their time, looking at events that hadn't happened yet in this timeline. Captain, look at this, Anna said, pointing to her screen. In 6 days, an asteroid will hit the Varan colony. 3 million dead. We could stop it easily. Walker rubbed his temples. But should we? If we save them, we change history. Those 3 million beings will have descendants. Everything changes. Or maybe, Anna said quietly, we were always supposed to save them. Maybe our presence here is part of history. Before Walker could respond, Lieutenant Rivers's voice came over the comm. Captain, we're detecting a distress signal. It's from the Varan colony. They've just detected the asteroid. Walker and Anna looked at each other. The coincidence was too perfect. How long until impact? Walker asked. 6 days, sir, just like the historical records show. Walker made his decision. Set course for the Varan system. Maximum speed. The Prometheus arrived at Varan in less than a day, a journey that would have taken coalition ships a week. The asteroid was massive, 5 kilometers across, enough to cause an extinction event on the small colony world. The local defense fleet, a handful of old patrol ships, was firing everything they had at the asteroid. Their weapons barely chipped the surface. Sir, the Varan government is hailing us, Rivers announced. On screen appeared a desperate-looking alien with blue skin and large eyes. Unknown vessel, please, if you have any weapons, help us. 3 million lives depend on it. Walker stood. This is Captain Walker. Clear your ships from the asteroid's path. The Varan commander looked confused, but obeyed. The patrol ships scattered. Rivers, target the asteroid. 1 shot, antimatter torpedo, low yield. Target locked, sir. Fire. A single torpedo launched from the Prometheus. It was no bigger than a person, but it contained the power of a star. The torpedo hit the asteroid dead center. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the asteroid simply ceased to exist. It didn't explode or break apart. It was completely vaporized, converted to energy that dissipated harmlessly into space. At the communication channel, erupted in chaos. The Varan commander's mouth hung open. On the planet below, 3 million beings watched the sky where death had been approaching, now seeing only stars. How ... The Varan commander whispered. What are you? We're humans, Walker replied simply. And we're here to help. Word spread faster than light. The mysterious ship had saved an entire world with a single shot. Some called them angels. Others called them Demons. But everyone agreed on one thing. Nothing in the galaxy could stand against them. In hidden corners of space, spies began to gather. 3 different species sent stealth ships to follow the Prometheus, trying to scan its technology. They all failed. The human ship's sensors detected them instantly, though Walker chose not to respond. Let them watch, he thought. Let them see we mean no harm. But not everyone was convinced. Lord Krell received the news of Varan with rage. A ship that powerful could threaten his empire. He began to gather his forces, sending messages to every warlike species in the galaxy. The humans had to be stopped before they became unstoppable. Back on the Prometheus, the crew gathered in the mess hall. The weight of their situation was sinking in. "We can't go home," Tom Rivers said quietly. "We're stuck here." "Then we make the best of it," Walker replied. "We have the power to prevent centuries of war and suffering. Maybe that's why we're here." The crew nodded slowly. They were beginning to accept their fate. They were no longer just lost travelers. They were protectors, whether they wanted to be or not. Asterisk. The space around the dead star system of Nexus Point filled with ships. 500 warships from 12 different species gathered in the largest fleet assembly in galactic history. At the center of this armada, Lord Krell's flagship, the Devastator, waited like a predator ready to strike. "All ships report ready, my lord," Krell's commander announced. The human vessel was last seen heading toward this system. Krell smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. They saved one colony. Let them try to save themselves against the combined might of the galaxy. Unknown to Krell, 3 small transport ships had secretly approached the Prometheus days earlier. They carried representatives from peaceful worlds that had heard of the humans' actions at VERAN. Captain Walker met with these representatives in the conference room. There was Ambassador Lilly from the agricultural world of Haven, Elder Rock from the mining colonies, and surprisingly, Commander Vex from a moderate faction within the coalition. Captain Walker, Vex spoke first. His insect-like features, showing what humans had learned, was nervousness. "Not all of us agree with Lord Krell's approach. You showed mercy to our fleet when you could have destroyed us. You saved Varan when you had no obligation. We believe cooperation is better than conflict." Elder Rock nodded, his silicon-based form grinding slightly as he moved. "Our worlds are peaceful. We have no great warships, no mighty weapons. Lord Krell takes what he wants from us, and we cannot resist. But you have the power to say no." Walker listened carefully. "What are you asking of us?" "Protection," Ambassador Lilly said simply. "We offer trade, resources, friendship. You offer safety from those who would harm us." Dr. Anna Black, who had been quiet until now, spoke up. "Captain, I've been working on something. We can't give them our weapons technology. It's too dangerous and too advanced. But I can create simplified shield generators, ones that could protect a planet from orbital bombardment, but couldn't be weaponized." Walker thought about this. They were already changing history. Why not change it for the better? "Very well," he decided. "We'll protect any world that asks for it peacefully. But we won't conquer or control. You remain free." Commander Vex's wings buzzed with excitement. "Captain, I should warn you. Lord Krell knows you're coming to Nexus Point. It's a trap." Walker smiled. "I know. We've been monitoring their communications for weeks." "And you're still going?" Vex asked, confused. "Sometimes, Commander, the best way to prevent a war is to show why it shouldn't be fought." The Prometheus dropped out of hyperspace at Nexus Point exactly when expected. 500 ships immediately surrounded them, weapons charging. Lord Krell's image appeared on the main screen. "Human vessel, you are surrounded. Surrender your technology, and we might let your crew live." Walker stood calmly. Lord Krell, I'll give you one chance. Stand down your fleet and return to your worlds in peace. Krell laughed, a harsh sound that echoed through the bridge. One ship against 500? You humans are either brave or stupid. Rivers, Walker said quietly. Activate Defense Pattern Alpha. The Prometheus's shields suddenly expanded, growing from a tight bubble around the ship to a massive sphere nearly a kilometer wide. The shields pulsed with blue energy, beautiful and terrifying. All ships fire. Krell commanded. 500 ships fired at once. Beams, missiles, plasma, antimatter. Everything the galaxy's combined forces could muster struck the Prometheus's shields. The space around the human ship became brighter than a sun. When the barrage ended, the Prometheus remained untouched. Our turn, Walker said. Rivers, disable their weapons. All of them. The Prometheus fired once, not 500 times, but once. A wave of blue energy expanded from the ship like a ripple in water. As it passed each enemy ship, their weapons simply shut down. Not destroyed, just disabled, their power systems completely drained in 10 seconds. 500 warships were defenseless. Impossible, Krell whispered. No, Walker replied. Just very advanced. Now, Lord Krell, let's discuss peace. But Krell wasn't listening. In rage, he ordered his ships to ram the Prometheus. Only a handful obeyed, their crews too frightened to follow the suicidal order. Walker sighed. Tractor beams. Hold them in place. Invisible forces grabbed the attacking ships, stopping them instantly. They hung in space, unable to move forward or backward. Commander Vex's voice came over a private channel. Captain, half the fleet wants to surrender. They're asking for your protection. On the bridge, Anna smiled. Captain, we're receiving dozens of distress signals from peaceful worlds. They're all asking the same thing. Will we protect them? Walker looked at the frozen enemy fleet, at the messages of hope flooding in, at the choice before them. They could rule through fear or lead through example. Send a message to all ships and all worlds, Walker commanded. The Protected Worlds Alliance is now formed. Any who choose peace are welcome. Lord Krell stood in his war room, staring at a star chart with a single point circled in red. Earth, the human homeworld. His spies had finally found it, and what they reported seemed impossible. Earth had no space defenses, no warships, not even colonies on their own moon. The humans of this time period had barely achieved primitive space flight. If we destroy Earth now, his commander suggested, the Prometheus will cease to exist. A temporal paradox. Krell's eyes gleamed with malice. Or they'll be forced to protect their weak ancestors. Either way, we win. Prepare my personal fleet, 2,000 ships. We end this now. On the Prometheus, alarms suddenly screamed across every deck. Dr. Anna Black burst into Walker's ready room, her face pale with terror. Captain, I've detected a massive temporal anomaly. Someone's found Earth. Our Earth in this timeline. Walker's blood ran cold. In 2157, Earth had no defenses against even a single alien warship. The planet's most advanced weapons were nuclear missiles that couldn't even reach orbit effectively. How long until they arrive? Walker asked, if they left now? 3 days at their maximum speed. And us? 12 hours at emergency speed, but Captain ... Anna hesitated. If we reveal Earth's location by defending it, every hostile power in the galaxy will know where to find humanity's homeworld. Walker stood, his decision immediate. Then we make sure no hostile power remains. Rivers set course for Earth, maximum emergency speed. As the Prometheus raced toward Earth, Commander Vex arrived with 50 coalition ships that had joined the Protected Worlds Alliance. Captain, we intercepted Krell's communications. 2,000 ships. Even you can't fight those odds. We won't have to, Walker replied. Not alone. He opened a channel to every ship in the Protected Worlds Alliance. This is Captain Walker. Lord Krell threatens my homeworld, a planet that has no defenses, no warships. A world of 6 billion innocent beings who don't even know alien life exists. I'm asking for your help. The response was immediate. Ambassador Lily's world sent their entire merchant fleet, retrofitted with basic shields. Elder Rock's mining ships, tough and durable, volunteered as a defensive line. Even some former enemy ships, inspired by humanity's mercy, joined the growing fleet, but it would still not be enough. 300 allied ships against 2,000. Captain, Anna said quietly, there's another option. We could warn Earth, accelerate their development. Walker shook his head. The cultural shock alone could destroy them, not warn them openly. But what if certain ideas appeared in the right places? Theoretical papers about shield technology, improved rocket designs, early warning systems? Walker considered this. They were already changing history. Do it. Anna transmitted carefully crafted data packets to Earth's internet, disguised as theoretical research papers. Within hours, Earth's brightest minds were working on technologies they wouldn't have discovered for decades. The Prometheus arrived at Earth with 12 hours to spare. Walker positioned his ship between Earth and the approaching fleet, the Allied ships forming a protective shell around humanity's blue marble of a homeworld. Then Krell's armada arrived. 2,000 ships dropped from hyperspace in perfect formation. The space around Earth had never seen such a gathering of warships. Humans, Krell broadcast, ensuring Earth could hear him too. Your ancestors will burn for your defiance. On Earth, panic erupted. Humanity had just learned they weren't alone, and that aliens had come to destroy them. Walker opened a channel to Earth. People of Earth, this is Captain James Walker of the UESA Prometheus. We are your descendants from your future, thrown back in time. We will not let you fall. You are under our protection. Then to Krell, final warning. Leave, now. Krell laughed and gave the order. All ships, concentrate fire on Earth. Burn it to glass. 2,000 ships fired at once. But Walker had anticipated this. The Prometheus moved, faster than any ship should be able to move. It appeared at multiple points simultaneously. Its shields absorbing weapons fire meant for Earth. The Allied ships formed a living barrier, their new shields holding against the barrage. Rivers, Walker commanded. Show them what happens when humanity is truly threatened. Activate the Zeus protocol. The Prometheus began to glow. Energy built up around it like a miniature star forming. Then it released that energy in controlled bursts, each one precisely targeted. Not to destroy, but to disable. 2,000 ships found their weapons overloading, their shields failing, their engines dying in 60 seconds. Krell's entire armada was helpless. But Walker wasn't done. He transported directly onto Krell's flagship, appearing on the bridge like a ghost. You threatened our birthplace, Walker said, his voice deadly calm. That was your last mistake. Krell tried to attack, but Walker's personal shield deflected every blow. With a single touch to a control panel, Walker locked down Krell's entire ship. The age of tyrants is over, Walker announced on an open channel. The galaxy belongs to all peaceful species now. Asterisk Lord Krell sat in chains aboard the Prometheus, watching through the viewport as his empire crumbled. Without his iron grip, the Dominion's enslaved worlds declared independence one by one. The tyrant who had ruled a quarter of the galaxy was now just a prisoner. Captain Walker stood before him, flanked by Commander Vex and Ambassador Lily. You'll be tried by a council of all species, Walker said. Fair justice, something you never gave others. You think you've won? Krell snarled. You've doomed the galaxy to chaos. Without strength, without fear, there is no order. You're wrong, Walker replied. There's something stronger than fear. He led Krell to the observation deck, where a remarkable sight awaited. Ships from every corner of the galaxy had gathered at Earth. Not warships, but vessels carrying engineers, scientists, teachers, and builders. The Protected Worlds Alliance had become something more, a galactic council where every voice mattered. On Earth's surface, humanity was experiencing its greatest leap forward. The technical data Anna had provided, combined with direct contact with alien allies, had advanced Earth's technology by a century in mere days. Already, Earth's first true starship was under construction, built with alien help, but by human hands. Dr. Anna Black addressed the assembled council via hologram. The Prometheus carries weapons that could crack planets and shields that could withstand supernovas. This power is too great for any one species, even humanity. She gestured to Walker, who stepped forward. That's why we've made a decision. We're dismantling our offensive weapons. We'll keep the shields, the medical technology, the defensive systems. But the weapons that could destroy worlds? They die with us. Gasps echoed through the assembly. Elder Rock spoke first. You would make yourselves vulnerable? No, Walker smiled. We're making ourselves trustworthy. The Prometheus will become a mobile peacekeeping station. If anyone attacks a peaceful world, we'll be there. But we won't rule through fear. Commander Vex stepped forward. The Coalition formally dissolves its military structure. We propose a new organization, the Galactic Defense Force, not to conquer, but to protect. Every world contributes what they can. Over the following weeks, the transformation was remarkable. The Prometheus crew worked around the clock, removing weapon systems and converting them to defensive platforms that could be deployed to protect entire planets. The technology was simplified, made so that no single world could dominate others with it. Tom Rivers oversaw the creation of an early warning network spanning the galaxy. Any threat to a peaceful world would be known instantly. The response would be swift, but always proportional, always just. On Earth, the changes were even more dramatic. Humanity, faced with proof of alien life and their own future potential, united as never before. Wars ended. Resources were pooled. The construction of Earth's first interstellar fleet began, with every nation contributing. Admiral Eva Stone, who had been managing the Alliance from the Prometheus, received a transmission from Earth's newly formed United Earth government. Admiral, we're ready to take our place among the stars. Not as conquerors, but as protectors, just like you've shown us. But the greatest surprise came from Anna's research into their temporal displacement. Captain, I've discovered something. Our arrival here wasn't an accident. The quantum signatures, the exact time we arrived, the events we've influenced, they all match historical anomalies from our own timeline. Walker studied her data. You mean, we were always here? In our history, there were always legends of a mysterious ship that appeared in 2157, prevented wars, and vanished. We're not changing history. We're fulfilling it. The realization was staggering. They hadn't been thrown back by accident. They were always meant to be here, to guide the galaxy toward peace instead of centuries of war. A year later, the ceremony was held on Haven, Ambassador Lily's homeworld. Representatives from every peaceful species gathered to sign the Galactic Peace Accord. Krell, now reformed after seeing the prosperity peace brought, was given a second chance as an agricultural advisor. Walker stood before the assembly one last time. We came here by accident, or perhaps by destiny. But we've learned that true strength isn't in the weapons you carry, but in the hands you extend in friendship. The Prometheus, now permanently stationed as a mobile hospital and disaster response vessel, hummed with new purpose. Its weapons were gone, but its mission was clearer than ever. As Earth's first ambassador addressed the Galactic Council, Walker smiled. They had prevented the wars that would have killed billions. They had turned enemies into allies. They had shown that humanity's greatest strength wasn't its technology, but its heart. The galaxy no longer trembled before them. It stood beside them, and somewhere in the quantum foam of spacetime, history smiled and continued on its proper course. Asterisk.